Right, so I'm just driving over to one of the projects that we have ongoing at the minute. Now this one consists of a large upwards extension, including a full internal refurb throughout, transforming it from a 2-bedroom bungalow to a 4-bedroom house, including luxury bathrooms and en-suites. So to begin this build, we started off by removing the roof structure, followed by the ceiling joists, only to leave up the external walls and a few internal ones. In doing so, we revealed the true structural integrity of the house, revealing how poorly built it was. The walls were built of compacted sand with no concrete footing below, and the general construction of them was shocking. So a few benefits you get along with a new build are that you get a brand new detached dwelling built to modern day standards, as well as being 0 rated of VAT and also a 10 years insurance backed guarantee. Now, due to the extent of this build, it would be impossible for the client to be living in a house at the same time as the work being carried out. Prior to the work commencing, we converted one of the client's outbuildings, transforming it to a fully equipped kitchen, as well as a bathroom for them to use whilst the work was being carried out. So due to the close proximity of the trees on this build, we had to dig the footings down to 2.5 meters. This is because the trees suck the moisture out of the soil, causing expansion and contraction. So when digging the footings down to 2.5 meters, you have to introduce something called a clay master board. Now this is essentially a 75mm thick polystyrene board which acts as a break between the footing and the ground within it. So it sits on the inside, allowing the ground to move freely when it's expanding and contracting, allowing no interference with the dwelling. So if you follow me around now, I can explain to you how we've done the block and beam oversight. Right, so due to the depth of the footings, we then had to install a block and beam oversight. Now a block and beam oversight distributes the weight from left to right to the load-bearing elements of the building, allowing no pressure to the ground below. So when the ground moves around, it won't affect the house. In front of me now, you'll see the sheets of ply laid along the floor. This is because we haven't infilled the block and beams in this section due to the large steel post that will be coming out of the ground, picking up a steel going all the way along the house. The reason we didn't just do the block and beam and then sit the steel directly on the beam is because we want to mount it straight onto the footing and bolt it accordingly. So with the new building regulations introduced in June, Part L meant improving the U value throughout the dwelling. Now this means upgrading the insulation throughout. So on this specific build, we decided to increase the cavity size to 175mm and mass filling it with rock wool insulation, achieving that U value required. Right, so I want to use your imagination a bit now as I run through the ground floor plan. So this will be the new porch that takes you on into the house, leading on into the new hallway. To the left side of the house will be the dining room, and then there will be a dividing wall running along here with another door taking you on into what will be the downstairs cloakroom. To the right side of the house will be a reasonably sized living room, and adjacent to that will be the garden room, which I'll go into more detail in a minute. Towards the back of the house will be the grand open plan kitchen and breakfast bar, which will then lead you on into the garden through a beautiful set of 3-meter long bifold doors. So prior to beginning the work on this build, the client wanted one thing, and that was to keep the oak frame building behind me. The reason for this is that it's still fairly new and they believed it added a lot of character to the build. In doing so, we had to treat the other walls leading on into the extension as external walls, just like the other. So like the other ones, they had a 175mm cavity insulation. So in effect, the oak frame building is separate to the rest of the house, so it complies with the new building regulations and they can still keep it. As you can tell, it's pretty impossible for me to take you on through the first floor ground plan, but in a nutshell, it consists of 4 bedrooms, 2 with en-suites and 1 bathroom for the other bedrooms to share. So the next stage on this build will be the crane arriving on Monday to lift the stills into place. The scaffolding will be going up on Wednesday, allowing the carpenters to then come along and lay the ground floor ceiling joists, followed by the bricklayers to come and then take that block work up to the next level. So thank you for watching this video, and keep your eyes peeled on many more updates to follow in this build, as well as all the other projects we have ongoing at the minute that I'm going to take you around and show you what's going on as well. And maybe it will inspire you to do some work on your house and realise the space that you have and how you can utilise it and add more value to your property.